I started taking the lessons with Sharon in the end of September 2014. At that point, I had 30 years previously taken some watercolor lessons, but I had never ever worked in charcoal. So I was completely open to the method of teaching, and I wanted to see how I would be able to relate to black and white and shades of gray as opposed to color, because I'm very color orientated as a person. My first piece that I was really pleased with was a puppy that I did, which was a Labrador puppy, and I got so attached to him I gave him a name. I called him Buddy. So from now on, all my pieces that I do that are either an animal or a person, I seem to want to give them a name, and then I start relating to the individual or the animal very much so. My final piece that I've just completed was a young Bedouin girl, and I wanted to do an ethnic child, and this particular child spoke to me because she had startling eyes, and again she ended up with a name. I named her Jasmine, and as I was going along she seemed to speak to me, and I've been very pleased. I was so pleased with her actually that I showed her to a friend after she was completed, and the friend knew how long I had been taking the classes, and the friend said, "Gee, I'm blown away with that," and it made me feel really, really good. I think I'm still learning, because Jasmine was a certain type of ethnic child. I'm now working on another ethnic child whose skin tones are different, and my challenge now is to be able to work with different skin tones and be able to get the right amount of shading of the different skin tones of the children. So I hope to be able to actually, after I complete this young child who is of African ethnicity, and I've called her Zaria, I want to also complete an Oriental child as well. My experience has been that if I get the grid, which is what I work with, correct from the outset, and I spend time on doing that, then I'm able to get the components of the face in relation to how they should be. If I don't concentrate on making sure that my grid is in the correct aspect, then I end up finding that I'm struggling to a certain extent. But that's part of the learning experience, because you have to be able to also make corrections as you go along. And with Sharon, she helps us, she gives great critique, and she also shows you how to go along to the next step, but she makes you also take the next step, because she pushed me into doing something larger when I didn't really feel I was ready for it, and then after I did it I said, wow, yeah, I guess I'm ready now to go a little bit larger.
Do you think that the fear of taking the scale up is that the mistakes will look bigger too?
Yes.
Yeah,
because your mind seems to say to you, oh, if I make a mistake it's going to be bigger, I'm going to have to work harder to get it corrected and things like that. The materials you do find as you're going along that certain materials are better than others. Certain pieces of charcoal have more of a better consistency for staying on the canvas, giving you the lights and darks. Where I work at home, actually, at my dining table, I find that my light is more east-west, mostly from the west. Whereas when I bring the piece up as I'm in progress to Sharon's studio, because our light is more brighter and southerly, I would say, because we work in the morning, I find that I'm not really seeing the lights and darks as well at home as I do when I get to the studio.
That's
Anybody else who's thinking of taking up charcoal drawing, who's never ever touched it before, I would say go for it, because you will find in a few weeks you're producing something you never ever thought you could do.